Hi everyone.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I'm just gonna start over.
Okay. Hello you guys. We're just gonna wait a minute. Got some people tuning in. We just want to start off by saying, okay, you're gonna go live. Bianca's gonna go live from her account too, but we just want to start off by saying super transparently that it definitely took a lot of courage to even press this live button. So we just want you guys to know that it took a lot of courage, and yeah.
We've had a lot of courage in the last 2 weeks, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but because we keep having...
Yeah, so let's get right into it. So we want to start
with a disclaimer.
We're going to start with a disclaimer. Okay, let me go ahead and read it really quickly because I can't see it here. But we just want to make sure that everybody knows. How can I make this smaller? Okay. So before we begin, I want to emphasize that my opinions and comments regarding others are based on my personal experiences and perceptions, and it's important to remember that everyone's perspective may differ, and what we share today is solely my own viewpoint, so please take this into consideration as we discuss a lot of topics that we are going to discuss tonight.
Perfect.
You want to start off?
I'm going to start off with our intentions of this live. So as we speak on our prior experience in XYZ company, we want to have you guys understand that this is not to shame anyone that is existing in the company. It's only to share our truth and reality and our perspective over the last 6 years and what has recently come to light and what we've been able to see with our own eyes. And you can do with that whatever you want. It is not meant to, sway anyone. It is not meant to try to recruit anyone into our current business.
Yeah.
I mean, we can speak so much on that. We already have 1,400 business partners in the last 13 days. So it has nothing to do with trying to recruit or steal or any of that kind of stuff. It is simply to speak out on our truth. Because for a long time, we had our eyes closed. For a long time, we would call people crazy. For a long time, we didn't even try to hear out different perspectives or what people had to say. And we would just write people off as, they're crazy, they're insane, don't listen to them, block out the noise, tunnel vision, focus. Because that's keep working, work harder, because that's what leaders tell you. And so we're coming out because we have been disappointed. Today was payday, and
we did not get paid. So yeah, today was payday, and we did not get our paycheck for June, which, by the way, we worked all of June. We worked so hard all of June. I mean, I had enrollments in June. We did not know anything that this was going to happen in June. We decided we were going to move companies July 2nd. So legally, we worked all of June, and we were not expecting for today to come and for us to not be paid our June paycheck. And what also blew our mind is that our girls that resigned the same day as us, July 2nd, did get their paychecks. So they picked and chose who they wanted to pay. And we're just really disappointed in that.
Because it all kind of started as when we did our resignation email. We did everything the right way. That's why we're very frustrated. Some people will transfer their business. Some people will sell their business. Some people will do all these different things. And we were okay with walking away from it and doing it in a nice, graceful way, which a lot of you guys have told us that we did. We posted something saying, thank you for the experience over the last few years. We're so grateful. The moment that we posted that, the next day we received a cease and desist, basically telling us that we were breaking rules, that we were reaching out to people, which we weren't. We have not reached out to a single person. Every single person who has joined our team has reached out to us personally, we haven't even had the time or the capacity to reach out to people because of everything
We've
that's
been
gone
so
on.
busy with thousands of people literally joining our team.
We've been so busy with everything going on. So we received the cease and desist, and basically that was to gag us and to be like, shut up, we know that you left and we don't want to hear a word from you.
And it was a pretty aggressive cease and desist, considering that we had not even launched our new company yet. We literally just said, goodbye, Monty, goodbye, we love you, and then, goodbye, we love you, and literally the next morning, like, we wake up to...
And that upset me. The cease and desist caught me off guard, because I was like, we haven't even said that we're going to another company. We haven't even posted anything. We have no intentions. We've never had the intention of, I'm going to go on and I'm going to say this and this and this and that and I'm going to set them on fire. We never had that intention ever. And still to this day, right now on this live, that is still not our intention. It's just to speak out on our truth, because people deserve to have a different perspective. It should not only be the perspective of, if you do XYZ, you're going to make XYZ amount of dollars and and do this, this and that. And also there's a lot of deception.
Yeah. And also, like, because if it's happening to us and we did things the right way, because we found out that we were switching to a new company July 2nd. That same day we resigned. We said thank you.
We made calls.
We were just like, we're going to, somewhere else, and for us to immediately be pursued with a cease and desist, like an aggressive one, on people unfollowing us that we cared about, the same people that we were crying about the day before, because these are people that we spent a lot of time with, and just like spent a lot of memories with. These same people unfollowed, blocked. But not just that, the saddest part is we were getting messages, like voice recordings of what these leaders that we thought were our friends were saying about us. And that was the most hurtful part, because we understand that, like, there's fear and you want to keep your people, but to lie on someone's name and to say that there were never leaders, that they never had the intention of building, when I have been building and rebuilding my business for years. I just rebuilt back to SED, top of the compensation plan, which is not an easy thing to do. And we just want to share our stats with you all really quickly, so that if they did it to us, like, they can do it to anyone.
They will do it to you.
Yeah. We were with Monat, personally, I can say mine, you can say yours, but I was with Monat almost 6 years. From my team down, we sold over $250 million in sales from me and below. I made almost $4 million. I won their President's Award. I won their CEO Award, Best Market Partner of the Year. I won their Elite Trips 3 times, multiple times. I was just asked to be their keynote speaker because I rebuilt back to SED. And you guys have seen, you've seen how hard I've been working. I've been traveling. I've been building teams in different countries. So for someone that makes money from us to tell our people that we haven't been building, that we haven't been working, of course our girls are going to send it to us and be like, hey, this is what they're saying about you, just so you know. And it's really sad. So
it's sad because again, we had no intention of ever addressing any of this stuff or having to come on here. We don't want to do this. But it all started with them. It all started with their owner going on a live, dragging us like I've never seen before. It was
Me either. He was literally drinking alcohol, just dragging women, first of all,
calling us prostitutes, because saying that we're industry jumpers and hoppers. And it's the biggest turnoff is just the way that they
handled it.
The way that they handle it, but the way that they tell everyone it's not okay to go to another company. I started to get so turned off when some of my friends left to another company, and I was in a leaders chat with them, and in this chat, guys, I literally have the
should read them.
screenshots. The
Yeah.
things that they were saying were not okay. I left the chat because I was disgusted with the way that they were talking about other people. Like, how is it not okay to change jobs? How is it not okay to want more from life and to decide, you know what, I'm not seeing the vision here. You know what, like, I'm not happy here. You know what, like, I want to go somewhere else. You know what they say when you leave? I'm literally reading text messages from industry leaders who are $5 million, $10 million earners. Like, I'm going to read you the text messages in the group chat that I was like, I can't be a part of this. I need to go, and we'll go from there.
And that's why we left their chat.
So here they go. I don't get why people can't just be like, I went somewhere else because I don't want to work and I want to steal people who are low-hanging fruit. So everybody who's joining our team right now,
they're calling you
low-hanging fruit. They're calling you leftovers. They're saying that those people don't want to work. That's what they say. They're saying about us. They're saying that we left everything we built in the last 6 years, didn't get paid, and that we don't have an interest in building. How does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. You know what else she follows it with? It's always this long story about God telling them to, or about all these excuses. Like, girl, get a grip on life. Another person, it's corny. It's corny. It's corny to want more from life. It's corny to recognize the fact that you're not happy. It's corny to recognize the fact that you're not growing and that you want more from life.
And these are like grown women.
Grown 30-year-old women. I could not comprehend. This is when stuff started to hit the fan for me, because I was like, I can't.
And it was like about our friends too, who
I'm literally shaking, like, thinking about it. Yeah. And so then they say, because you change companies, this is what they're saying about these girls. Makes you look unstable to your future business partners and customers. Yeah, so and it makes our industry look so bad. Like, you're what's wrong with network marketing. That's what the text messages say.
Yeah. So basically, if you want to go somewhere else, like, even if you think about it, you'll be feared into, like, this is what they're going to say about you. So when we saw what they were saying about the girls who left before us, which we love them, by the way, took a lot of courage. They went to another company. They're not in the company that we are in. We were like, we're not going to be in a chat with people that talk like that. Like, goodbye. So we leave. And what happens after?
So I leave the chat and I get a text message from the leader who has the chat. She's like, why did you leave the chat? And I'm like, because this is unacceptable. I was point blank, period, very black and white. Like, this is not acceptable behavior. I'm not okay with this.
Yeah.
And basically she said, oh, I know, but like, I can't say anything. And I told her, well, you're enabling it.
Yeah, because if you're a leader, you set the culture.
You set the tone.
Team. Like, if someone were to say something like that in our chat, immediately it gets snipped in the butt. Like, hey, we're not talking like this about people, especially not in a group chat, especially not with other people. So we didn't understand how she could say, like, well, you know, I can't say anything to them. Yeah, you can. You literally are the leader, you know, the one that they look up to and respect because you've made the most money. So we didn't understand that, so we just left and decided to, like, do our own culture and try and figure it out on our own.
The thing is, though, that you can only build like that for so long and do your own thing for so long. I mean, that's why you saw Issa and I getting super close and doing everything together and training together, because we had a similar mindset, a similar vision, a similar way of thinking, a similar perspective. But little by little, it's just like the leadership for me was just like, I can't do it anymore. Like, I would go to trips and I would just feel totally disconnected. It's like, there's so many people and there's so many people that I'm supposed to be close with and friends with, but I'm feeling like I'm literally left out and like I don't connect or resonate with anything.
We also realized, like, it starts from the tippity top, because before we even knew that we were gonna leave, like, when we were still like, okay, like, what do we do? You know, I get a call from, like, a big leader, and I don't know if I should say, like, whatever, a big leader, and he's like, you're not gonna do good there. That, like, that's not your brand. You're not gonna do good anywhere else. Like, they make you think, like, you're not what has success. You're not what does well. It's the company that makes you successful. It's the company the reason why you do well. And you believe that. So when I was being, like, feared into staying, that's when I knew, like, that's not right. Like, fear is not from God. Like, you could have called me and said, hey, how can we, like, you know, work together? Like, how are you feeling? But instead, like, you're not gonna do good there. Like, just leading with fear, it was just more confirmation for us to be like, this is not where I'm supposed to be. So, all right,
So,
I'm gonna go next.
where else do we want to talk about?
Okay.
So we also have income.
Yeah, money.
So let's talk about money because compensation was a big part of it. Isa mentioned that she got back to SED. June 13th, right? June 13th,
when
we
got
get
our last
our commissions, we get our pay.
I worked so hard to get back to that rank. You guys, like, top of the company there is really, it's not easy. And when I get my paycheck, mind you, this is not about me. My paycheck it's fine. I mean, it's not what it used to be, but it's okay. But actually, for what I was selling, it's, you know, I'm not going to say the numbers, but it wasn't really me. It was my girls. So my new MMs, my new directors, my new girls that I was telling them, build, 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 grow, grow, grow. I was like, hey, how much did you make? New MMs making $1,500 with a bonus. With a bonus. How can I tell somebody to work 30 days away from their kids, whatever, all of these things, to get a bonus check? Like, she wasn't even happy with her check. $1,500 with a bonus to reach, you know, I'm not even going to talk about the directors, you know, selling over $100,000 a month and their paycheck $2,000-$3,000. What? Like, the math was just not mathing.
It wasn't mathing.
I was just like, okay, I can't do it anymore. Like,
well, imagine, like, months prior, we're getting text messages from girls on our teams crying and not being happy with their paycheck. And it's like, what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to do? Like, they keep saying that they're not doing anything to the commissions. They keep saying that it's not the flash sales. They keep saying that it's not all these things, but the math isn't mathing. And so it was just like a breaking point when we got that check, because it was like, okay, you worked back to get to your title and there was no difference.
No.
Let's talk about me. I didn't even tell you guys my stats. My team sold over $70 million in products over the last 6 years. I hit the top of the company. I've been a speaker at their conference. I've won multiple awards, top promoted out MMPs, like elite trips, all of the things. My pay. So I started to notice things. A couple months back, a girl was super happy about making $10,000 and she like posted it, whatever. And then I see her name on the top 100 income earners list. And I'm like, wait, okay. So the people on the list, like at the bottom of the list, they're making like 10K. Okay. As months go by, my last paycheck, I get paid $12,000. Mind you, my highest paycheck being $120,000. Okay. My last paycheck was $12,000 and I was in the middle, like I was number 50 something of the top income earners. So I was like, Isa, everybody below me is making less than $10,000. What are we doing here? Like, this is not what we signed up for. Like, and my numbers are big numbers. So it's like I have all this volume and all these numbers. What are my girls making? I know they're not even making half of this. I know this.
Yeah,
I know
like
this.
A third.
Or a third of it. So I'm like, I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling any of this. Like, it goes beyond it being just about me, because I'll be 100% transparent with you guys. That paycheck, $12,000 is, I don't, like, my bills, I don't have bills. It's not like I needed money so bad that I got desperate and I did XYZ. No, like, my bills are paid, okay? Like, I don't have crazy amount of bills or anything like that. But it was just the fact that I could not comprehend where the money was going and what my girls were making, and all of the facade, like it's all like a sham, like it's all like,
yeah.
So let me say one more thing before I pass it to you. We would have a leader, she was like bragging about other industry leaders reaching out to her, because this is what they do. They'll post someone that's new that made it to the top income earners list, because they're in their smart start, they're in their period where they make all these bonuses, whatever. And then other industry leaders are like, wait, how do you have new people on the top income earners list? Like, they're making that much money? No, they're not. No one on the list is making money. So that's why these people are able to get on this list. So then it's just like, I'm sitting here dumbfounded. I'm like, is everyone just lying to themselves? Like, is everyone just delusional? Like, is everyone just faking it? And in my perspective and my belief is, yes, they are. Just like I was being delusional. I was being delusional thinking that I was going to get back to the numbers that I had. It's not going to happen.
And I had the numbers.
And then and she had the numbers that I had back then when I was making those paychecks, and my still didn't add up.
It was not adding up. So it's not about us and the income that we were making, because we could have sat there, you guys, and said and kept defending it and like whatever. But when I started to build back up, so rebuilding with new people, because I believed everything, like, oh, like the old is the old, build new. I built new, okay? The new people were making less than $1,000 MMs, like $1,500 new MMs, over 150,000 in volume, like in sales monthly, 2,000-3,000. I was like, even my girl Lauren, she said to me, she was shocked because she got her director bonus last month, and she said, wait, how am I in the top income earners list? And I was like, people are gonna notice little by little.
That's what Issa texted me. She literally was like, people are starting to wake up and they're starting to notice.
They're going to open their eyes and say, wait. And you know what I want to tell you all? If you have any doubts in what we are saying, go and ask your leader and your mentor for a paycheck.
Because they can send you their paycheck. They're allowed to send it to you. Ask them for a paycheck.
Transparency is everything. If your leader and your mentor has 3, 4, 5, 6 million in monthly sales, ask them, send me your paycheck. And then ask yourself, what's it going to take me to get to 3, 4, 5, 6 million in sales? And is it worth the check that they're getting paid right now? And for me, what I was making, I ended, I believe, with my SED month, like in almost 2 million in monthly sales. Almost 2 million in monthly sales. And I was like, it's really hard for my girls to even get to half of this. It's going to be really hard for my girls to even get to a quarter of this. And I'm not going to have them work towards this I'm not going to have them work for this when this is the paycheck that I'm getting. Mind you, and this is, we're not going to be here talking about our new company, but just like I sold a couple of days ago, like $250 in products here, and immediately I got paid $150, 50% commission from my sales. So imagine when I get to the numbers, the thousands and thousands that I was selling over there and making no money from. So let's go next. Just ask for a paycheck. Transparency is everything. It's really important. Transparency is everything. You guys deserve to know what it is that you're working towards. Okay, next thing. Let's talk about, you want to talk about elite trips? This is just going to get hot.
Yeah, it's already getting hot. So
we talked about the CV is important.
I don't even know what to say about it because they keep saying a million different things about it. I don't know. I can't tell you. And I feel like if it's not transparent, if it's not clear, it's a no. I feel like that's my motto right now. If it's not transparent and it's not clear, it's a no from me.
Like here we know, like, okay, you sell 100, you make 50. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
There's no guessing. When you see the numbers in the back end, it's what's commissionable. There's no fluff. So like a girl just posted from someone else's team. She literally posted a screenshot of her pay as a new saying, this is ridiculous. Like my pay was $1,700 as a new And that like literally makes my stomach sick. Mm-hmm. Because when we were starting, that's not what we were making. That's not what we were making at all. My belief is the consistent basis of having sales every single day is cutting the volume, cutting the commission. So that's why it doesn't look the same as what we were making. We were not making checks like that.
And also the product of the month. Like there wouldn't really be any rank ups if the product of the month didn't exist. The product of the month is like a bubble that people like will add to have points. And you guys, you don't want points in your back office. You want money in your bank account. I don't care to say, oh,
I sold $2 million.
My volume is $2 million. Like, no, I'd rather have 200,000 and make $100,000 than have 2 million in volume and make $20,000. Anyways,
so our first kind of like, I mean, we had seen, maybe just like you, maybe you're seeing a couple of red flags, but you're just kind of pushing it to the side because you're like, oh, you know, giving the benefit of the doubt. I feel like we gave the benefit of the doubt for a long time. And
we fought hard.
We fought really hard.
We rebuilt. We did everything.
The elite trip.
Elite trips, yeah. Let's start with elite trips.
So this is our first big trip that we earn. And this is like a huge deal. This is like the top 10 people in the company.
Brand new. We're like 24, 23.
We're babies.
We're babies.
Like, we're babies. We're babies to the industry. We're babies to what we're doing. Granted, we made a lot of mistakes, like, you know, whatever. But we worked for that trip.
Really hard.
And we get to this trip and severely disappointed.
I was crying.
I mean, she was crying and I was just like, guys, who cares? We're in Bora Bora. Like, I get it. You're upset. But at the end of the day, literally, who cares? But I did cry too. Because what it was is the family is on vacation and you're just on the side. Like, you're three-wheeling on their family vacation.
Yeah.
Where they're like creating content, having fun, talking to each other. And just like what they do with you is like, hey, let's take a picture. Picture, done, gone.
Yeah, like no conversation. I was actually just telling Bianca, like I was their CEO award winner, president award winner, multiple elite trip. And the owner just took me to dinner for like the first time in 6 years to talk to us because we launched a new business and they wanted to know what it was going to be.
There's so much I could say about that.
Yeah.
But
that was disappointing, to say the least.
That was our experience with the trip. There's like so much more, but it's like pointless to go into the details. All you guys need to know is just the fact that like they say your family, they say all these things. They like to throw a lot of flashy things in your face, like the trips, like Perfect 10, like all these things to keep you busy and distracted, but they don't want to focus on pay. And there's so many things that we have requested over the years, time and time again.
The website, everything.
With the website, with the flagships, so many things that I could say about that because recently we had so many instances, and I can speak on my reality and my truth is my mom, she was a VIP of mine for like 2 years or 3 years ago. Because remember, I've been in this industry for 6 years, this company. And she was like, Bianca, I got a package of products at my house. Did you send me stuff? And I'm like, no.
Let's talk about the flagship.
And I'm like, no, I didn't send you anything. And I go and I pull my reports and I see that they still found a way to charge her for a flagship, even though the card on that file was expired because it was like 3 or 4 years old. So then we found out that other VIPs were getting charged for products that they were not ordering with expired cards that were not supposed to be on these accounts anymore. And it was just too much. It was just like...
Yeah, this morning, actually, Lauren, one of her customers, wrote to her and said, hey, like, they're charging me and I did not approve this. Like, and now they don't allow me to return the order, even though I didn't want the order. The order is untouched. It's like giving me a thumbs up. And Lauren was like so upset. She was so embarrassed. She's like, what do I do? Like, I need to call them. They need to give you your money back. So, you know, that doesn't happen where we're at now, you know. And I feel like when we say we picked something with open eyes, that's so important. But yeah, like that's not okay, you know, to just like find a way to charge people just because your card's in the system.
And yes, we did lose friends, like people that, I mean, I literally thought we were friends. Like, yeah. I remember having pep talks and conversations and all these things.
What they said about your...
Yeah, I have it pulled up right here before my computer dies. But I was so disturbed because, I mean, the live that this guy did, she was more upset about it than me.
I was more upset about it because it was lies. And, like, lies really upset me because, he could have just gone live and said, hey, guys, like, let's focus on the positive and, like, not be drinking, not be, that was mean. Like, if you saw the live and if you understand Spanish, like, So I was upset that, they even mentioned, like, a baptism at all. Like, you can make whatever excuse you want to make for him if you want and if you feel good with that. But that did not glorify God. And to welcome someone, like, that's new in their faith by mocking like what they did or making excuses for it, like that was really hurtful to me. especially knowing like how much I have had to pray for her to literally get to that point. So
what upset me is what I'm going to tell you guys. This girl reached out to me about her upline leader.
Who we loved, by the way.
Who I loved. I loved this girl. Like, but the things that she said, okay. So first of all, she comes out and she says that our More Than a Business campaign that we did, that Mon8 paid for it and that we screwed them over, which is bizarre. Like, we did it for us and we have screenshots of the CEO texting us, what are you girls doing? When we first launched the very first video. So them paying for a campaign for us, bye.
False.
Next, she says that my public profession of my faith led to the teaser for the campaign to our new company, and that my whole faith was a marketing tactic, aka my baptism, aka all the godly things that I've been sharing. It's all not real. It's all to recruit and XYZ. That is what got me.
And that is a Christian woman whose husband posts about faith every single day, saying that another Christian used her religion and her baptism as a marketing campaign. Excuse me.
Which you have to watch my testimony if you want the full scope and the full understanding, because we'll be here for another 2 hours of how everything unfolded, how everything came about, how everything was so suddenly and everything was the way that God wanted it. We didn't pre-plan anything, nothing. We just obeyed what he wanted, okay? It doesn't end there. She ends up saying that she is okay with what the Urdanettas said, or whatever, because even though his words were poorly chosen, as a parent, she understands that he needed to defend his children.
Pause for a sec. That was upsetting.
But that's what they're saying, because what Issa was talking about, the voice notes, which we have so many notes, the voice notes, I wish we could play those voice notes for you, because
the voice notes from, should we just, I don't know. There's a lot of people on here, so.
If it was the old Bianca, I would have already been played it. I would have already been dropped names, but I'm trying to be godly here and glorify him, so I'm just trying to speak truth.
Okay.
I'm not going to say names.
But
the voice notes. The other girl, she's sending people voice notes and telling them she's so happy that he said everything that he said and laid everything out, and she's okay with everything that he said. And
Striker,
hey, stop.
come here.
And that we're all being paid, that we don't want to build, and that a year from now, watch where we are.
A year from now, watch where we are.
That it's not going to be existing, that this is all a sham, this is all because we're on a salary. If I was on a salary, would I be busting my butt? Please, help me understand, because I don't understand. But these are the things that they say. This is how they fearmonger. This is how they try to control the narrative, and they try to get their freaking claws into you so that you don't have common sense. And you're like, oh, okay, I believe you. It's the people making the least amount of money that are defending this the most. And it makes me so sick. That's why we're on this live. It disturbs me to my core that these people are so, I'm sorry, but you're brainwashed. You are literally brainwashed. If you're making no money and you're defending this like it's your life, like it's your bread and butter. You know what I was telling Issa? I was like, Issa, this is what it is. It is the fact that these people have so much pride and ego. They do not want to admit to themselves that this didn't work. For me and Issa, we got to the top of the company. We made millions of dollars. We did all of the things. So it's okay for us to step back and be like, you know what? We're done here. But for them, they haven't done that yet. Okay. So they would have to admit to themselves, oh, it didn't work.
Let's take a pause. We need a breathing pause. But I was going to add something to that. To the thing that you were saying before. We're hot. Sorry, guys. So
the pride comes before the fall.
We wanted to say something really quickly before. What were you talking about before? The voice notes.
The voice notes.
And the salary.
Salary.
Like, okay, the salary. Make it make sense real quick. Why would you throw away 6 years of business for a year or 6 months of salary why would you throw away a team that was already selling millions of dollars a month that I didn't have to work for, and I could just sit back to come here and do all this work and
all
work
over
so
again.
hard.
All over
Like,
again.
Make it make sense. But you know why it didn't surprise me, and you know why I didn't get upset about that and how barely even addressed it? Because God set it up for me so perfectly, because 2 weeks before, another top leader had left. Love her, by the way. She's in another company. And I asked questions. So guys, ask questions. And I hope that you don't get blocked and kicked out of the group chats when you do. So I asked a question, and immediately I was told it's because she got paid this much. So then I asked the girl, and I was like, hey, did you get paid? She addressed it like on her stories. But I knew, like, when that happened with us, I'm like, oh, of course, that's what they say about everyone, because they want to discredit you. They immediately want to discredit you and say, oh, they're not leaving because they found something better. They're not leaving because things are better somewhere else. They're not leaving because they want something different. They're leaving because they got paid. Like, make it make sense. So anyways, what's going next?
Me catching my breath.
I know, it is upsetting, because when we know how much these people actually make and how much they defend it and how much they like wanna just,
it's what breaks my heart, because I know what my girls are making, because I've gotten text messages from them of like, oh, with this I can't buy a house, with this I can't do this or that or whatever, and I'm just like,
the car,
what are you doing?
the car I own. So
yeah, Issa already bought her car out, because we've been in the program for a while.
yeah, but if you have a car and it's, you know, and you can't pay for it and you don't have your car bonus, like, you either return it or you keep it, but you pay it out of pocket.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so I'm not
I'm
not worried about the car too much, but yeah, I mean, if you were like someone that got it, you would have to give it up or whatever, do whatever.
I have like some notes. We want to make sure we address everything real quick with you guys. Oh, should we talk about this?
Oh yeah.
So, when we were in our previous company, we were the marketing, the event planners. Like, we hosted all these events that we would invite our leaders to and set it up for them. And our leaders, our uplines, would get there and say, well, I'm just here to show face. Like, I don't really want to be here. Like, I'm just here to show face and I'm out in an hour. Mind you, we had set the entire event up, Eventbrite, pricing, food, everything, so that they can just show up. And when they show up, instead of saying, hey, thank you girls, like, I can't wait to like meet everyone, talk to everyone, they're like, I'm just here to show face. And I was so impressed with, you know, our new upline. That lady, like, she literally is hospitality, like how it should be, you know. So our eyes have just been like so open, but we were just like, wow. And that's when we started to be really disappointed. We're like, wow, like, we are setting this up for them. Like, the least they could do is just show up here and
there's just like
get to know people.
Yeah, there's just like no appreciation for what you have. Like, it's incredible to have a business with so many amazing people, and it's disheartening to see that for you it's like whatever. It's just like, it's a dollar, it's a number, it's a whatever. There's no taking the time to get to know. There's no hi, like whatever. And if there is, on the side, under the breath, it's like, oh, I'm so annoyed, I need to get out of here. And it's just like, I couldn't resonate with that at all, you know. So it is, yeah, I will say it's Mean Girls.
Yeah.
What is this?
Another big one for me was, especially in the last year, I mean, there's a lot of leaders that are there right now that like have, that they're, you know, they're worried and they're scared and they're like, they don't know what to do. And honestly, like, if you are scared and you don't know what to do, like, yeah, you need to pray, but also you need to remember, like, this is so much bigger than you. Like, your business is so much bigger than you. And when someone shows you their true colors, like, believe them. If they did that to us, that we literally have had like a perfect track record there, left doing everything right, like, they will do it to you too as soon as you go. Try it. I promise you. Like, it's really sad. And ask yourself, like, when your girls that you're telling to work hard right now and to build get to where you are, like, are these things that you want them to deal with? And
I just feel like you have to sit back and reflect and think like, am I happy? That's all you have to do. Are you genuinely happy? Because there was a trip that we went on to like the Bahamas or something, and Issa asked me, are you happy? And I said, no, I'm not happy. Every time I come to the trips, it doesn't feel fun. It feels like, doesn't feel good. Like it hasn't felt good in a long time, but it's like you don't know what to do, because at the same time, it's like you don't really see other people making moves. So I think it has been people around us that we really look up to that have broke the chains and have left and have opened our eyes. So we're like, you know, like we need to do the same thing. Like it was a couple of lives that she watched, and like just sitting back. And
at first I was like, no, they're crazy. No, I can't look. No, like they're being too loud. Like don't look. And then I was like, wait, but this makes sense. Wait, but this is true. Wait, but wait. And then wait. And then eventually it's like, oh, like my eyes are open, and let's just hope that it's not that bad. But then we go, is so excited, wanting to start something fresh, starting something new, which by the way, God has abundantly blessed. Our team has already sold $100,000, like actually of commissionable volume, thousands of people. I mean, it has been incredible. But we were like, let's hope that when we do go somewhere else, what everyone said is not true. And we were just so disappointed, especially like today, not getting our paycheck that we worked all of June for. Why? Getting a cease and desist immediately after we said we were leaving, before we even had a chance to call anyone. Why? We hadn't even launched yet. Why did the owner have to go live talking about us and how we weren't leaders when we hadn't even launched? Why? We hadn't even talked to anyone yet. Why? We said a thank you, goodbye, we love you. Immediately blocked, immediately unfollowed, immediately leaders going live, trying to protect what they have, trying to discredit us. Like you can't close people's eyes for forever, you know. You're like shaking. I'm shaking too. I know it's hard.
It's hard because like I literally could have never imagined, if you would have told me 2 years ago, Bianca, you're gonna go on a live and you're gonna talk about how they didn't pay you and da da da. I'd be like,
I did not expect to not get paid, because we worked all of June and we resigned July 2nd. Commissions end. Like we were supposed to get paid for June. So, and to pick and choose who they pay. Like our girls were here this morning who quit the same day as us, and they got paid. They got their paycheck, which by the way was terrible for their numbers. We're not going to go there. I'll let them go there in their own lives. But they got their paycheck, resigned the same day, the same process. Why did they choose us? Why don't they want to pay us, but they'll pay them? They've done it the exact same way. It's not right. It's unfair. Like, this is a paycheck. If you have a job and you work until the last hour, that job pays you until the last hour. If you say, I'm at this job, but tomorrow I'm going to go on this other job, like, that job is going to pay you because they have to. You're like, you'll go to HR, you'll get your paycheck. They have to. It's not if we want to. It's your job. It's your business. And this is the same thing. Like, people's livelihoods are on the line. People have bills to pay, and people have families, and they can't just pick and choose, oh, we're going to pay them, but we're not going to pay these girls.
And I think it just has a lot to do with just not knowing any better, you guys. When we were young and we started this, we were babies, and we were quiet, and we were tame, and we didn't know how to say things or whatever, and now we're older.
Scared. I think we were, more than anything, we were scared.
Like, I'm 30 years old. She's got a grown kid. Like, she's got bills that she's got to pay, and like, it's not right. And you need to know the company that you're working for. You need to know everything black and white, from the good to all the bad, because there's a lot of bad stuff that people are just demanding you ignore and demanding you push to the side, and all darkness comes to light. It does.
Period. It just does. And we did not want it to go like this. We wanted to like peacefully just go and like not have people put on their stories that we're sellouts, that we got bought out, that we were never real leaders, that we weren't helping the next girl. What are you talking about? Like, if you're in their directors chat, you know my name was number 1 on that list, most promoted out people for months. What are you talking about? Like, people are messaging me like, Issa, you can't deny the undeniable, and what they're doing right now is they're denying the undeniable, and people can see right through it, unfortunately.
I think it's
fortunately,
coming
but...
to the realization that it's okay if things didn't turn out as expected, and that you can move on, and that you're not tied to anything forever. Like, whether it's another company or going to a job or starting your own business, like, I just want people to feel empowered and know that God is with you. Like, He's going to take care of you.
He will provide.
He is like, if you're faithful to Him, like, and all the things, He's going to take care of it. And you don't need to be in scarcity. And that's what we realized for a long time, is like, we have been living in scarcity. Like, we have not been okay.
We have not.
And we haven't been in the environment that promotes the growth. That's why I was like, I need to get out of here. I'm done with this. I did not feel like I was in a growing environment. I felt like I was literally dying. And a lot of you guys have said this to me, like, Bianca, you would do content, you would do videos, and the way that you would show up, like, you had dead eyes. Like, it literally looked like there was no life in you.
We were so scared.
So scared. So it's like,
I think when we started to get closer to God, it was like we had that courage, and honestly it took like our faith going to the next level of like, okay, God, like, can you do it again for us? Like, we promise, like, we will just, you know, give it all to you. And like, it was scary, but He provided it in such an abundant way that it's like, wow, our faith in Him is just like a million. And we can see how not only is He blessing us, He's blessing everybody else in other companies. Like, blessed. Like, there's enough for everybody. And you can't lead with a closed fist. You can't keep people to you and scare them like, oh, these people, they're not good or whatever. Like, let people do what they want to do. Let them be happy. Like, don't scare them into staying with you. That's just selfish. Yeah.
Period.
Do you want to do like a Q&A? Is there anything you wanna like?
I haven't. I'm like looking at the questions here. I think if you're confused, you should just give it to God. Like, you should pray. You should spend time with Him. He's gonna reveal to you all the things, and
ask for proof, and like have your eyes open. Like, really see with your eyes, like.
And I'm so proud of all the people that could see through it from the very beginning and a long time ago. And, you know, again, we'll apologize again to all the people that we discredited and that we, you know, were like, oh no, don't listen to them.
Or like, we were so quick to believe the lie. Like, if we were to ask someone, a leader that we respected here, hey, why did this person leave? Whatever they would tell us immediately, we're like, that's what it is. And we would believe it instead of like listening to what that person had to say and hearing their truth. And I think when we started to see both sides, we're like, wait, they make a lot of sense. You know, maybe we weren't like super happy with their delivery or like the way they were going about it, but
so good. If you're confused, that's your answer for sure. For sure.
You should not be getting kicked out of, you guys, I was getting kicked out of group chats before I even decided, because they heard that I was possibly interested in something else. Kicked out of group chats. You know, it was like, okay, just as if I haven't just been here for 6 years and we're not like, you know, the way they're making fun of our faith, and like, that's crazy, because you know, if you're in your faith, you know the courage that it takes to be bold and speak out.
And if you follow me, you know that way before, maybe a month ago, I did a story in my car talking about how I was so nervous to even talk about God or religion, because like, I felt like I was coming out and people were going to judge me and whatever. Like, I would never use my faith as a marketing tactic. Like,
that's disgusting. Yeah, especially you, that you were like, I want to make sure that I'm doing things with the right intention. Like, that was literally Bianca's like story.
About my baptism and everything.
She's like, I want to make sure that I really receive the Holy Spirit and I really know God. And like, for them to be like, oh, used this as a marketing campaign, that's why it was so hurtful for you, because you were like, the polar opposite is actually what happened. So
I even said, like, I even told Isa, like, if I'm gonna get baptized, I'm not posting it. Like, and I
was like, no, you should post it, because you are gonna inspire so many people that are new in their faith.
But and see, that's where my mind was at. Like, I didn't even know all of this was going to happen, that I was going to switch companies and da-da-da-da. But, like, that's where my mind was at, because whatever you put out there, people can use against you. So I was like, I don't know if I want to, like, post that or whatever. But obviously my conviction to share my testimony was bigger than that fear. So I followed that instead.
Yeah, and people literally get saved with your testimony. Like, that's what saves people. So we'll end up with that. I think we should do some Q&As.
I can't say anything about products. I don't know. I love the products, so. But I won't be using them anymore because how do you say that someone was baptized in cocaine water? And then you have all these girls that don't speak Spanish defending it, trying to say, that's not what he said.
Yeah, and they make like $200 a month. Just honestly, ask them for a paycheck. That's it. That's going to solve all your answers. Let's see, what else? Big leaders, ask them for their paychecks. They're hard to send them to you. Okay, what else? I think that's pretty much, I think that we went over everything. Do you have any other notes?
They're holding on to a lot of money. A lot of money.
Yeah, they owe us a lot of money. I think we covered everything.
Christy, you should watch my testimony live. I talk about it.
Yeah, this took a lot of courage. Honestly, we would have never. And if you know us, like I have never in 6 years that people have probably followed me, I've never gone live and spoken truth because I'm always like, God will take care of it. God will take care of it. But
yeah, Steph. In my opinion, everything is, and I would try my very hardest to make it as real, authentic, and genuine as possible. But again, when at its core it's not, it's just not gonna work.
He deleted the live and like apologized for it, said that he was misunderstood, but honestly everyone that speaks Spanish, like at this point it's like it doesn't matter if he said or someone said, he repeated it, and it doesn't matter if it was whatever, like even if you're like, oh, in tea water or whatever they're trying to make an excuse for, you don't talk
you're
about
still talking about a baptism, like it's just
mocking it
beyond
while drinking alcohol and saying that you're Christian.
Beyond. And I get it. Like, people are traumatized. Like, I've literally spoken to people and they're like, I am traumatized by, like, this experience. And I'm like, I get it. I'm traumatized too, but it doesn't have to be.
Period.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that way. Like, I really believe it all stems from the leadership and the intentions and the heart and the culture and, like, that's been our biggest thing. Like, I'll be honest with you, like, I don't even have a goal in mind when it comes to, like, what I'm going for money-wise, like, what rank I'm going for. I'm like, God, whatever you want from me, like, that's what we're going to do. I'm just focused on, like, helping people.
And
like,
he's been doing the most.
And he's been doing the most, and I know that I don't have to stress in this season. Like, we are renewed people. We are completely different than when we started the business the first time. Like, we are going to rest because we know that he will provide and he is going to plant this desire in other people's hearts, and we're not going to have to stress and look for this person and that person. Like, we're not going to work like that, like how we did before. This is a completely different season and so different for us now. And like, that's how we're going to train and that's how we're going to teach. And we believe in abundance and we're done with scarcity. And we lived in scarcity because it came from the top. If you guys watch every move that they have made, you can see that it comes from what? Fear. Because they live in scarcity. If they were not threatened, if they were not fearful, they wouldn't have gone live and said those things. And they actually, this live was supposed to be at 9 p.m. But the CEO decided he was going to send out an email and do a surprise call, a surprise training at 9 p.m. at the same time. Why? Because their panties are in a bunch. So
yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything. And for anyone that's wondering like why it is that we are speaking out, it's because our eyes were closed for so long, and we don't want that to be what happens to you guys, because if they did it to us, like
and now you'll know. Like, no, you can never say, I didn't know better, no one told me. No, you can say, I was on that live, I heard,
and I chose to stay here.
Yeah. And that's fine if you want to stay, but it ain't for me.
Yeah. All right, well, we've been here for almost an hour, so thank you all for getting on here, and all of your comments, your support really does mean the world to us. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys privately. Bye everyone.